Welcome back! Today we're going to look at why Intergalactic, the heretic prophet, has a staggering dislike bar, despite it being made by Naughty Dog, you know, the studio behind Uncharted and The Last of Us, which were awesome. At first glance, the game looks impressive. The graphics, really goddamn good. Well, you know, you can expect that from Naughty Dog since The Last of Us 2 graphics are astonishing. What went wrong? Well, there are a few small reasons, but the biggest one, in my opinion, is pretty easy. The main protagonist looks like shit. Like it or not, the gaming industry is dominated by guys, and most guys don't want to play as an ugly female character. They want to play as a hot chick. That's just the reality, and this isn't the first time we've seen this happen. And some might say that girls play video games too, which I absolutely agree with. But the majority of people that play video games are guys, okay? I didn't make the rules, that's just how things are, okay? And people prefer playing some hot character instead of an ugly character. It's pretty easy, mainly. And you might think, well, how do you know that based on what? I mean, from, like, history repeats itself. We got a lot of examples, which we're gonna cover right now. But in order to do that, we gotta go to the video game graveyard and start digging and try to find that ancient, God bless its soul, relic that I'm talking about.
Free gunning. It's hard work, but it's our work, and we don't take it for granted.
That's right, guys, I'm talking about Concord, the biggest L of the decade. Well, for Sony it is. It's the same reason this game died. The characters were dog shit, they looked horrible, and the graphics of the game were actually kinda good, but the character design was woo-hoo-hoo. Nope, no one wanted that, and the game died, and Sony lost $400 million. Well, there you go. Keep on doing shitty characters, you keep on getting hate, and games keep on getting cancelled, and people keep getting fired from those companies, and there you go. Stop doing it, and, you know, you're gonna see differences. And changes, maybe. Let's go a little bit even further into the past. Remember Aloy? Remember that drama that she got a little puffy in the face? In the second installment of the game, everyone got mad. Personally, I think that one was a little bit exaggerated. I can see where they were coming from. But again, I'm just a messenger. This is what people want. This is what they don't want. You change the character, you make them a little bit more ugly. When they got used to a pretty character, well, you're gonna get the guillotine, they won't give you their money. Boom, that's what it is. Another out of proportion drama. Probably this is why this Intergalactic game has so many dislikes, the trailer. Because of the Abby drama. You remember Abby from The Last of Us 2? Everyone hated her. Oh my god, she looks like a dude, she's a transgender. All that yada yada bullshit. But this one, sadly, went absolutely too far. Because they started accusing the voice actress and started giving her death threats. Like, how stupid are you? What does she have to do? How is she guilty of the choices, of the design choices of a charactering? I'm not even gonna go there. It's so stupid. It's not a subject. What the fuck are we talking? It's stupid. Like, how can you send death threats to a voice actress? Voicing a character made out of pixels that you don't like in a video game. Are you delusional? But he did that. So, this is what people do. So now let's talk about my favorite dumb shit that happened. Like the most recent one, and I don't know what people have been smoking, but this one is really stupid and I don't agree with it at all. I don't know what people are talking about, I swear.
Witcher, whose coin did you take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods.
No! You chose her.
Ciri, from Witcher 4, the next installment in the Witcher franchise, and obviously you're playing as Ciri as the main protagonist, and people call her ugly, and that she doesn't look like in Witcher 3, and what the hell happened to her, now she looks like a dude. Like, I've seen all kinds of crazy comments about this. In my opinion, I think she's hot. She's not a warrior, she's a witcher, she aged, like, what the hell did you expect? I think she's pretty here. And people are calling her ugly. I don't understand this one. Okay, I understand the intergalactic situation. The protagonist really looks bad. In my opinion, she really looks ugly in that video, in that gameplay, because it is a gameplay since it's captured in the in-game engine. But holy shit, Siri, guys? Really? Okay, so some of the hate towards Intergalactic is coming from their hate towards The Last of Us 2 and what happened there. From various reasons, because Abby looks like shit, they don't like Abby, why do they make us play as the killer of the main protagonist, and yada yada, all that shit. Some people call her transgender, which she's not, she's just a bulky female that looks like a dude and whatever. Personally, I emphasized more with her than with Ellie in the end of the game. Whatever, people have their opinion, it's a free speech world, they can do whatever the hell they want and like whatever the hell they want. I think Last of Us 2 was epic, but the hate towards Intergalactic, I understand where it's coming from. Again, people might not like this, but majority of players of video games are guys, and guys want to play as hot chicks, not as ugly chicks. It's that simple. And when you, as a game developer, antagonize your player base and forcefully insert characters or protagonists that the majority of people don't want to play as, you will get hate. People will not buy your game. People will bash it. People will overwhelm it with dislikes, like in this case. You just gotta accept, or at least just give the players what they want. They want hot chicks, give them hot chicks. And then the developers come and say, well, if you don't like the game, don't buy it and whatever. Well, shit, you don't have to tell me twice. And then they go on social media and they start fighting with their own community. Like, my question is, who are you making these games for? Why are you inserting you're forcing these things into your games when the community doesn't want them there? Like, why? For diversity? For what? It's pointless. If the majority of people want something, just give them that. Why is it so hard? And then, like, you constantly antagonize your player base. They will not trust you anymore. They will hate you. So it's pretty obvious to me what you should do. And if you refuse to do this, then don't come back later and cry that the game didn't sell well, okay? And don't come on the internet or on social media and call everyone that didn't play your game an incel because they don't like women. What? What do you mean? There are plenty of good games out there with female protagonists that are well received. What are we talking about? Like, for example, I'm not the best looking and I'm kind of fat around the middle, but I still wanna play as Dante from Devil May Cry, for example, because he looks good and he's badass, right? It's the same thing. Like, don't give me an ugly protagonist, okay? Doesn't matter if he's male or female, doesn't matter. If it's ugly, I'm just not gonna play it, because I'm going to spend like 10 plus hours looking at that character. Why would I want to look at a fat dude or at a fat chick playing that game constantly? So I think lately is that companies just work against the consumer, not for the consumer. So that is just weird. I don't know. But if it keeps continuing like that, people won't buy your games. There are a lot of alternatives. Indie games are getting better than AAA games nowadays. There are a lot of options. They don't need your game if it's shit and you're trying to insert this and force these ugly characters into the game that no one wants to look at. We have a mirror at home. We can watch ourselves in the mirror if we want to see an ugly character or an ugly person. I want to enter a game and see pretty characters. Just let me get in that fantasy game. I'm not gonna go into a fantasy game to see ugly. Why would I want to do that? I want to escape the real life, not emulate it. So that's my opinion about this whole situation. I don't know if you guys agree with me. Let me know. Please subscribe, like, share if you want, and support me however you want. And I'll see you guys in the next video.